friends. So yesterday, you and I were talking about what is poetry, and we made this amazing anchor chart poster for us to remember what is poetry. It can be short, it has words, it can be funny. Poetry has adjectives that describe things, what they look like, feel like, sound like, or objects and animals. Poetry has rhyme. Poetry can be long. They can have pictures. They can be fiction, which means that they are part of our imagination. We can visualize the poems. If we listen to somebody read a poem to us and we close our eyes really, really tight, we can see it in our heads like a movie. Poetry can be happy. Poetry can be silly, and poetry can be informational. That means that it could teach us something about the world around us. So today I want to show you different types of poetry. That poems can be about anything in the world. So I'd like to show you some poems about rain, because we've been seeing a lot of it lately, and about spring, since we are in spring. Come on. So friends, here are some poems about spring that really show us the different things that we can write poetry about in regards to spring. This one says Spring by Nicolette Leonard. And it says, spring, spring, goodbye snow. Now it's time to watch the flowers grow. Spring, spring, buds on trees. Listen for the buzz of honeybees. That's right, because we get to say goodbye to snow. I didn't really like the snow. We can watch our flowers grow like the ones we're growing in our classrooms. And we listen for the buzz of honeybees. Bzzz. They're very important in the springtime. Very important work they have. And then we have poems like this one. Spring is here. And this one says, spring is here, spring is here. Hear the birds, hear the birds. They are busy finding big fat worms, big fat worms. So this one, not only does it rhyme, but it also repeats. We see a lot of repetition in this poem. We also see pictures. And they're telling us all about how we hear birds because they're looking for those yummy worms. Oh, and then we have this one too. It says, Spring by Maish Goldfish. This one has a lot of repetition in it. Do you see what word repeats many times? Yeah, spring. Can we count how many times we see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, let's check it out. It says spring. What springs in spring? Buds spring, leaves spring, flowers spring, trees spring, plants spring, grass springs, robins sing in spring. So this is a fun poem that tells us about not only the season spring, but friends, they use the word spring because it can also mean to pop up, pop open, pop out. Just like bud spring, those are the little baby flowers that we see when they start growing in the plant, and then they blossom or they spring open. The trees spring, meaning that they have leaves coming out of those branches that used to be all alone. And grass springs from the ground, it comes up. And last but not least, friends, we have this fun one. It says spring. And right away we see the sun. We see what could be maybe mountains or grass at the bottom. Let's read what it says. I love the spring. For every day there's something new that's come to stay. Another bud, another bird, another blade. The sun has stirred. Wow, that one was really fun to read. Those poems about spring are so neat. They tell us all the different things that we've been seeing and learning about in this season, spring. We get lots of trees, lots of leaves, flowers are blooming, just like the one that we're planting and growing. Yeah. But friends, I also want to let you know that there's not just different types of poem about the same thing. There's also different types of writing, different styles of how poets work, of how poets make use of those words. So I have some poems about rainy days, and I have lots of different types of poems. Look at that one, it's long and shorter. So I want to teach you a little bit about how different these poets write their poems. Come on, let's take a look at these poems about rain. Okay, so here's the first one. It says Dripsy Dropsy by Leanne Gunther. And it says, Dripsy Dropsy, pitter patter, falling to the ground. Fast then slow until it stops. Oh, what a welcome sound. So you notice the way that this poet wrote his poem. He definitely used a picture, but then some of the words are kind of off to the side. Do you see that? Oh, so that kind of gives us a feeling of wait and then read. Wait longer and then read. Wait a little longer and then read. Let me show you. Dripsy dropsy, pitter patter, falling to the ground. Fast and slow until it stops. Oh, what a welcome sound. Did you see that? We waited because it has space here. And the poet put that space there on purpose. We have another type of poem that we know and love very well, and it's called the rhyming poem. This one is called Rainy Day by Claire Louise Milne. Let's read what it says. I put on my coat and boots on my feet. I put on my hat and stroll down the street. The rain falls down from the clouds above. Splashing in puddles is what I love. And if you notice, friends, it has a beautiful illustration of a little boy wearing that coat, those boots, and that hat. And he's walking down the street. We see the rain falling, the clouds above, and we see him splashing in those puddles. That's my favorite thing to do too. Do you like to do that? Rain on the grass. Rain on the green grass. Rain on the tree. Rain on the rooftop, but not on me. What do you notice about this poem? Yes, it definitely has a photo. And it has repetition. It repeats. We see the word rain, 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 rain so many times that it makes us understand that this is all about the rain. And then, friends, we have poems like these. Whoa, Nelly, that one's a long poem. It's still about rain. It says rain, rain, but it's a lot longer. And what do you notice about this poem? What does it not have? It does not have any images, no illustrations. That means that it's our job to paint that picture in our head. Let's read the first one. See if you can paint that picture in your head. Ready? Rain, rain falls on the street, mud and puddles cleaning my feet. Did you picture that? Did you see rain on the street falling from the sky? And did you see mud puddles forming on the street? And there's another type of poem I wanted to make sure to show you. This is called a free verse poem. What's a free verse poem, Miss Orozco? Well, a free verse poem, friends, is when a poem is written, but it has no rhymes. Did you know a poem can have no rhymes? Yeah, let's check it out. It says, the clouds have big news. It's time for things to grow. Their whispers fill the sky with wind. Their low murmurs rumble like thunder. They pour out a welcome to spring. Ooh, so this one's all about how the clouds have something to say. They have big news for us. You see how he put big news? They have a lot of things to tell us. And how do they talk to us? How do clouds tell us news? Well, they can't really talk to us, but with whispers in the wind, low murmurs, rumble, thunder. You've heard thunder before. And they welcome a pour out. What pours out of clouds? The rain pours out. And that's how we know it's spring. So friends, I hope you enjoyed all these different types of poems that we get to explore in our poetry unit. So today on Schoology, friends, I've placed two poems. One about spring. It's a nice short one. And this one about rain. that I would like for you to read and share with somebody that you love. Make sure you share it with us here on Schoology. We would love to hear audio, video, or even just a picture of who you shared it with. Thank you, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.